Hey, it's John and Maria Hoffman here with your Tampa real estate update. Can you believe we are already well into 2025? It's going fast. It's
And
going
and
fast.
so what happens now is people start to get ready to get their homes to go on the market. The
Mm-hmm.
folks that want to go on the market are starting to figure out what to do, declutter, clean. What mistake do you think they make when they do that?
Yeah, the biggest thing I see, we were just talking about this, is that uh, heading into our spring market, which we know here in our Tampa Bay area, this February, March, April, May, these are big months. And sellers will go ahead and make a list, work to get their home ready, then call the realtor. They'll think, oh, let me get my home ready. I'm not ready to call the realtor. And what they don't realize is your home doesn't need to be 100% ready for the realtor to come out, for us to come
Well,
out.
well, we prefer it's not.
We prefer it's not. We'd rather help you.
Well, and the reason for that is people will do things that they think they need to do. They're going to paint, they pick the wrong color,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't pick the right flooring or the carpet,
Yeah,
and then they invest all this money, and that sometimes leads to a lower sales price. So not only did they spend money to get it ready,
right.
but they kind of wasted the money.
Yeah, we want to help our clients focus on things that are going to move the needle. And by getting us involved early, in fact, we've got lots of people that have already called and signed up, even in last quarter, getting ready for the spring. And we've been able to help them every step of the way. And that's what we love. So this is the time to be
Well, and it's a great,
working on those things.
every year we get into the spring, and almost every year you're going to see that the inventory picks up. There's more sales.
Mm-hmm.
Pricing inches up a bit.
Yeah.
And then once you get towards, July, August, you'll see that the inventory is dropping, the demand's dropping a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and pricing will actually come down a little bit from the highs.
Yeah.
So when,
So what would you say are the best months then if you're a seller? What advice would you give?
well, if in my opinion, if you want to go on the market in March, April, and that's when there's the people are moving because of schools,
Yeah.
and don't forget, Hillsborough County, we're 98% year-round residents.
Yep.
The average age is 36 years old, and from Pasco County, from the Suncoast East, most of Pasco is relatively younger too until you
Mm-hmm.
get into Zephyr Hills.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the busiest time to sell.
Yeah.
Now, the next best time to sell, it's going to surprise people. It's really the month of December. And that's when a lot of the builders are closing out. Military and other relocation work is going on. And, we did very well again in December. But if your house is ready to go on the market and it's in great shape, you can be successful any month.
That's true. I would agree with you. Any month is good. The thing about coming on the market in the spring, though, we were talking about this, John, is yes, there are more buyers. There's also more competition, right? So all the more reason to make sure that your home is ready to compete. That you want to
So
get it ready.
well, now you're switching to pricing a little bit
Yeah.
because you are going to compete. And this market, we call this the post-COVID market. And when people that are selling now, they might have bought during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
where the house didn't need to be painted or great carpet or landscaping, and they paid top dollar without any of that being done.
Mm-hmm.
So some sellers think that they can just go on the market and the house is going to sell, but with all the competition we have, you really, really, it's like going to the prom. You've got to be dressed up. You got to be looking good.
Yeah.
And you need to look at what the competition is to make sure you're the best value.
Exactly.
And if there's a lot of realtors that are out there, did you, did you know, Maria, that in 2024, 83% of licensed realtors sold one or no homes last year?
Wow.
And so to expect 83% of realtors to be able to understand this, to convey that to their client, that's really kind of unrealistic. And so what you really want to do is get the house in fantastic condition,
Yep.
look at the competition, and make sure that your house, based on features and benefits and upgrades or lack of upgrades,
Mm-hmm.
because if you don't have many upgrades and a house sold for $600,000 with a lot, you're not going to get $600,000.
Right.
But if you have more upgrades than a house that's selling at 600, then you should sell for a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But the sellers just got to be open to that conversation. And, and of course, really good listing agents can guide sellers on that process, right?
Yeah.
And so everyone's kind of thinking about what they're going to be doing. And we're about to enter the busy time of the year, but that's what we love.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it sure is. And so, and why is that? Why do we find those months are the busiest? Is it different up north? Is it different in different states?
So look at Sarasota and look at St. Pete. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of those are retirees, part-time owners.
Mm-hmm.
And so their busy time actually starts, in November.
Right.
People are coming down for their last season in Florida. They go on the market and they hope to sell before they go back up north.
Right.
In our market, it seems to be a lot of people are moving because the school year.
Right.
They want to either stay in the same school district or they want to go, I really want to move, say, for example, the Steinbrenner School District.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to want to make that move, go on the market, get under contract, and if possible,
Mm-hmm.
close in May or June towards the end of the school year. So they're in the new house before school starts.
You bring up such an important point. I just want to remind anyone who might be watching this from up north, school here ends in the end of May, and it starts back up in early August. So our school year, when people are moving over the summer, they're really moving in June and July. And so if you're a seller trying to capture that group of people, you don't want to be putting your home on the market in, let's say, July or August, like maybe it might be up north.
Well, you know why?
Right?
It's because
that's a big difference.
What the buyers that are willing to pay, retail or market value,
Yeah.
they're out there in March and April, and they start to leave in May.
Mm-hmm.
So if your house is on the market for those months and you get to June or July,
yeah,
the retail buyers are gone.
Right. They've already gotten a contract, right? They've already picked their home, a lot of them.
So you're left with either two groups, buyers that just entered the market or buyers that were looking more for a deal and didn't want to pay retail.
Right.
So we tell our clients, guys, we have to be under contract by May 15th.
Yeah.
Because we lose any leverage that we might have.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody that is thinking about moving in this spring, they really need to get organized. They need to get professionals to tell them, how do I declutter? What do I need to paint? What about landscaping? Do I need to paint the exterior? We need to, we meet with our clients, we bring in an interior designer to help with the decluttering and to help pick out colors, and we bring our landscapers out to give them estimates.
Right.
So we enter the market looking 9.5 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because that's what buyers are buying today. So if you enter the market and your house needs a lot of work or updating and it needs new paint or carpet, the odds of you selling are significantly reduced unless you drop the price.
Yeah, I have to share with you. I mean, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the number of homes coming off the market every morning because I look at that 7 days a week. I look at what didn't sell, what came off the market, and it's a lot more than it used to be.
So what do we hear from expired listings when we go and talk to them about their pricing and what they need to do and what the value of their house is, and we explain it to them in a way that makes sense? And then they always say, geez, John, Maria, what you said makes complete sense. Why didn't my other realtor tell me?
Yeah. A lot of people are asking, what is going to happen in the market in the next few years?
It's interesting. I wish I had a crystal ball, but I believe what's going to happen is the interest rates are going to stay pretty steady. They might come down a little bit. But we're starting to see the people that have an interest rate of 3 or less, there's 10% less of those in the last 6 months. And there's 15% less homeowners that have 4% or less. So that's starting to loosen up a bit.
Okay.
There's still a pent-up demand. There's still an inventory shortage. So short of a black swan event, I don't see a 5 or 10% drop in market values each year over the next couple of years. It might go down 2 or 3%.
Okay.
But even look at Lutz. Lutz is up 7% year over year.
Yeah.
Well, like New Tampa is down 2 or 3%.
Mm-hmm. Right. So when we look at an overall market, like our entire MLS, which was down about 2% year over year, but there were definitely pockets within that market
Well,
that were up.
it's always pocket specific. The
Hmm.
condo market is getting crushed right now, but that's being reflected in the 2% drop in Tampa values.
Hmm.
You back that out and
Right.
you only look at resales, you're going to get a little bit of a different story.
Right.
So I encourage people, don't look at what national media or these YouTube people are saying, sell your house, the market's going to crash. They're just trying to get clicks.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, people need to buy a home. But the one thing that's always going to stay for a while is if you want top dollar, you've got to be in great condition. There's no shortcut to that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no magic bullet, right? Or
So Maria, what are you seeing as far as going on listing appointments? What are sellers' expectations today?
hmm.
What do they think the market's doing?
Gosh, it ranges. I think if anybody really could tell you what was going on, the opinions are across the board. We've got people that think, we're about to see a huge drop in prices. We've got people that are looking at prices 2 years ago and thinking that they're still there, right?
Well, do you see a lot of sellers that are saying, I need to get this price to be able to afford my move? And what happens when that price can't be obtained?
Yeah, yeah. So there are definitely, and this is common where people will take, what they owe and what they need to buy the next house, and maybe what they want to pay off, right? And they'll come up with a price, and they'll say, well, this is what I want, and that number and the market value of the home are unfortunately not related, right? We have to look at where is the market,
Well,
and
and
so.
our job is to tell people, guys, I know you want $700,000, but I think 650 is your top.
Hmm.
And I think we all believe we owe it to the client to give them the truth,
Yeah.
because if they can't get their number, we'll tell them.
I will. Yeah, I have had those situations, and I'm honest and I'm upfront.
So Maria, I've got another question.
Hmm.
If somebody wanted to go on the market March 1st,
Hmm.
when should they hire their agent?
Don't wait. There's a lot we may have to do. Maybe your house is 100% ready, but uh, just about everybody has a to-do list, and we want to help with that and have it be stress-free. So I would say
So
don't wait.
So thanks for tuning in and watching today. And as always, if we can ever be of assistance to you, please reach out to Tampa Home Group, and our phone number is on the bottom of the screen, and make it a great week.